Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and on today's video we're going to be looking at Amazon Echo Spot, the newest addition to the Echo family. Right guys, let's jump straight into it and start unboxing the Amazon Echo Spot. First look and feel of this, I'm really surprised. It's actually a bit of a weighty item. Definitely solid. Obviously got the rubber grip at the bottom. At the bottom round, that's obviously where the speaker is, at the bottom there. The 4 voice inputs in there on the top, with the volume up and down, and the mute button on top. I've gone with the white finish. I've normally had the black finishes on the Echo Show and my Echo Dots, so I thought I'd change it around a bit and go for the white finish. This is meant for my bedroom. So we have 2 inputs here. We've got obviously, 1 input, 1 output. Auxiliary output, so if you want to connect it to another speaker, and obviously the power input as well. Well, hopefully you guys can see that. So select a language site first of all. Obviously, hello. If none of you know, this Echo Spot is touchscreen as well. So connect to Wi-Fi. So let's select my Wi-Fi, my password, which I forgot again. Alright, that's done, so that's connecting now. I must admit, for a smaller screen, the touch screen is very responsive. I would have thought it would have been quite hard, obviously, being a smaller screen, and I've got quite big fingers, so trying to tap in, but it was really easy. So after a second attempt of getting my password wrong, I'm finally in. So I've synced it up to my Amazon account. So always ask for your date and time on here, so Greenwich, obviously being in the UK. So yes, select that. And a nice name, Daniel's Echo Spot. Obviously you can name it to anything you want. Obviously if you had quite a few, you'd name it obviously what room you've got. So I'm going to keep it, as I've only got the one, I'm going to keep it Daniel's Echo Spot. And it begins with an update, my favourite. See how long this one takes.
Updating your Echo Spot.
So on here it says this could take up to 10 minutes or more. When I did the Amazon Echo Show, it said the exact same on there, but it only taken about 5 minutes. So actually, as updates go, it's not too bad. It's still doing the update, so I thought I'd quickly say another reason why I went for the white, also the black. I've had the Echo Show now for just over a week, and if you see my previous video, obviously being black, it attracts dust, and fingerprints are more noticeable. Not just obviously on the monitor, but also on the actual
device. As I install
itself.
the updates, your Echo Spot will restart twice.
Twice? On a quick note, while it's doing that, I've read some reviews on having problems connecting to BT Home Hub. I actually run with a BT Home Hub, and so far it's connected, it's done the update, so I haven't had any. It might have been obviously when it was first released. I think this has been out now for about 3 weeks, so I think they've done an update on that to rectify that problem, but so far I've had no problems and it connected straight to my Wi-Fi hub. Well, so far this has taken quite a bit of time to update, so I thought I might do something that I never normally do, is have a quick read for the quick start guide and the Alexa tips. Aha, I think finally the update's done. What is quite surprising, this has only been out for 2 weeks, and the update is taking longer than the Echo Show. Now I only got the Echo Show last week, and that's been out for over 2 months now, and I'm quite surprised how long this update's taking. So there obviously was some problems with this at the early stage. I think we're finally there, or not. Checking for latest software updates. What was you doing beforehand?
I'm back. Let's continue.
So like every other Amazon product, quick short video.
Introducing Amazon Echo Spot, a stylish compact.
So the first screen that comes up after the video is Amazon Audible. So I don't want to start that, so let's click no thanks to that. And we're finally at the
Your
screen
Echo Spot is ready.
So just want to go quickly, updating on this was really long, to be fair. Much longer than the Echo Show. So let's get to have a play around and see different features. So I've just set an alarm for 10 PM, and I don't know if you can see that, but just underneath the middle part of the clock, it's got obviously the alarm time that I've set on there. And if you actually click on it, it comes up with the time that you've got set in there. It's got the time that you've actually got saved in there.
I'm great. I've been thinking about what makes people happy. For me, it's the little things, like electrons, or sea monkeys, or the 5 trillionth digit of pi.
Didn't ask you how you were, but if you do, that's what she tells you. As you see, obviously the screen's been quite small, so it actually leaves the text inside it, which I think is pretty clever. So obviously at the home screen, if you simply swipe down, then you have obviously the home button to go back. Do not disturb, so Alexa won't disturb you. Any drop-ins or conversations or messages are like that. And you have your settings buttons. So the first one, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, home and clock, display, sounds, do not disturb, device options, restrict access, things to try, help, accessibility, and lead on compliance. Right, let's go. I think the main one is going to be the home and clock. So theme, it's analog or digital or personal photo. So if you see my previous video, I had a photo of my son on there. So let's go to digital. So you just slide through, and you've got the different clock faces on there and names of them. So let's go for flamingo. Give it a tick. Home cards. So you can add different home cards on there as well. So if you want one with the news on there, the weather, you can obviously select that. Messaging, so messages, see when you have new messages, the weather, upcoming events, reminders, drop-in, and trending topics. Quite like the trending topics, quite a good one. I like that one, it's a personal favourite of mine. So let's check our home screen now. Let's go to home. And you can see that, there's our flamingo home screen. I think it's quite nice. And it goes through, has a time on the top, and it's going through the weather for the area that we're in. So let's check out clocks. So if we go to analog, and then we've got different obviously clock faces on there, the old analog style, onyx, wood grain, owl, bold teal, which I think that's a standard one when you first start it up, modern fuchsia, copper, blues, record, textured. Quite like the record, that's pretty snazzy. So let's keep with that. Night mode. Nighttime clock. Show a dim version of the clock at night. So yeah, that's on there already. And you can set a time for that when that dims down as well. So, and it's already got in there 10 PM till 7 AM daily, so that's pretty cool. And obviously you can change that to whatever preference you want. So let's go to display. So obviously on the display you can have a photo select. So photo slideshow on there. You can set your slideshow preferences. Adaptive brightness, so which hopefully will be adaptive brightness, so that'd be pretty cool. Obviously if you open the curtains, so the more light of the room, it won't be as bright, it dims or gets brighter as the brightness in your room. Let's go to sounds. So you can actually, media volume can go up and down, alarm, timer and notifications, so you can set it. Obviously I don't know how loud it's going to be, so let's go stick with it halfway, or just above halfway. I don't want to wake up the whole house. Ascending alarm. Alarm volumes gradually increase to your selected level. Custom sounds. Alarm, simple alarm. So we have grand tour.
Right, time to wake up.
Good morning.
How do you know it's morning?
Well, that's usually when people set alarms for, James.
Now they might be having an afternoon
So
nap.
The only things that take afternoon naps are cats and you.
Which interestingly are the only two things I'm allergic to.
Alright, what time is it?
I don't know. We're not in the room with them.
So that's full
Or
volume.
are we?
and that's actually not that loud. I've turned it up.
Anyway.
Just wake up!
So
And then, could you...
come back out of that. If I do ascending alarm volume gradually, so let's turn that up and let's go back to sounds and see if there's a difference. Right, so let's select, see if this gets any louder now. If I've gone back to there, so if we go back to home. So my alarm should go off in about 40 seconds. That's not the alarm I set. But it's gradually getting louder, as you can hear. Haven't looked into it, but I imagine that there's going to be apps out there for different alarms as well, hopefully. Which would be pretty cool if they actually had an app that ties in with the camera, and you'd have to actually physically get up out of bed before it'd actually turn the alarm off. I think that would be pretty cool. And that'd be a good feature to have. So if you're listening on Amazon. So I'm not going to go through all the settings because most of the settings are the exact same, even though it has a monitor. It's got the exact same settings as if you have the Echo Dot or the normal Echo that you can control through your Alexa app. The only difference in this obviously is the camera and the monitor, and obviously the display itself. Right, let's look at the next thing I wanted to have a quick look at. Let's see what the video quality. Obviously I know you're not going to use this to watch a video, but let's check it out. Alexa, play the Grand Tour latest episode.
Here's the Grand Tour Season 2, Episode 11.
So as you see, you wouldn't actually be watching this mainly on a screen this size, but you could if you wanted to. Maybe if you're right next to your bedside table, you might want to. But on there, if you push, so you can rewind, it's got the option to rewind 10 seconds, pause, and obviously fast forward. And you can actually zoom into the picture as well. But obviously you're not going to see the whole picture. Oh, I've just fast forward. So it's kind of like a fisheye. So let's zoom out. So there's 3 differences, so I think that's going to be your best option to see the whole picture on there. The next thing I want to talk about, which I briefly talked upon about the Echo Show, which obviously it's at a slant. So as you see, when it's laid flat, it's looking, the screen, the monitor is tilting upwards. Amazon have come out with this with a stand, which is $19.99. I think that's quite pricey for a stand. Obviously, if your bed's quite high past your bedside table, it's fine, it's at the right height. But if your bedside table's higher than your bed, you're kind of looking up at it. But I just think that's quite pricey, $19.99 just for an extra stand. So you can, it's a swivel stand. So I think I'm going to have to purchase it. I might have to see if I can find a cheaper option, as I believe $19.99 is quite pricey just for a stand that swivels. But I'm glad that they've looked into that and they've done something about it. So let's talk about some of the cons with this. First of all, obviously, being an alarm clock, you need it to be reliable. Now, one thing this is missing, it hasn't got any battery input. So if you had a power cut, you would have no alarm being set. So I do think, obviously, if the next generation, they do need to add some kind of battery on there. Or as it's plugged in, it's got some kind of charge, and the charge only kicks in when obviously the DC cuts off. Next thing, I'm not too sure about this, I'm gonna have to check in with it a little bit more, is that if you lose Wi-Fi connection, does your time keep up to date at the same time, and does your alarm go off? That's another worrying factor. Am I also going to be setting an alarm on my phone as well as the Echo Spot for something a little bit unnervy? That's another thing that I'm going to have to try. But as far as anything else, that's the only real 2 cons about it I can find. Price range, yeah, I think it's pretty much about right where it needs to be. £320. The sound is I was quite surprised about the sound. The sound is really good for how small it is. Definitely much better than the Echo Dot. Not as powerful as the Echo Show, but I wouldn't expect it to be. Guys, that's it for today's video on the Amazon Echo Spot. If you've got any questions at all about the product, feel free to drop the comments in below. Guys, please hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks guys, thanks for watching.